This is Archer's week 3 video recap. So the first thing that I'm going to review is having Archer follow a food lure. He's gotten really good at this, but my goal this week is, I'm sure you've noticed in his last 2 videos, when I bring that food down, he starts pawing at my hand a lot. So this week I've really been focusing on getting him to stop pawing at my hand before I start moving. So I'm going to show him a piece of food, he's going to start licking it, and then we're going to move together. Archer! Archer! Okay, so if he does start pawing at me, I'm holding my hand still, waiting for him to stop pawing and then start licking, and then we're gonna move. Archer! So I'm just trying to get him to learn that calm behavior is what is gonna get him what he wants, not this frantic jumping and trying to nip at my hands here. Not really nip at my hands, but he's a little bit mouthy. So wait until he licks, and then we're gonna move. Archer! Good boy. Archer! Archer! Good job, buddy. I've also been working a lot on getting him dressed calmly. So I know that he likes to try to bite at the collar or kind of bite at our hands while we're getting him dressed. So I'm trying very hard to get him into a sit or a down position. If I go to put that collar or that harness on him and he does start to get mouthy, I stop and I'm gonna either get him back into the sit or wait till he settles and then I'll try it again. I'm also getting rid of having the food out first. So the very first week I had him on a piece of food while I put the harness on or while I put the collar on. But at this point I really want the collar or the harness to predict that food is gonna happen, instead of food predicting that these things are gonna happen. So I want him to get the food after we do the thing, okay? So I'm gonna bring out the collar. Archer, sit, good boy. Yes. So marking with the yes afterwards and then giving him the food. Good boy. And maybe I'll reward him a couple times. And then we're gonna take the collar off. And then we're gonna toss a reset. Go get it. When he comes back, we'll run through that again. Archer, sit. That's not a sit, buddy. Oh my goodness. Come here. Good. Okay, so see how he's kind of like looking away? I'm just gonna kind of reset here. Yes. Good boy. Okay. Go get it. Now we're gonna move on to the harness. So this one's going to take us a little longer because not only do we have to put it over his head, but we have to clip it as well. I want him staying calm through that whole process. Archer, sit. Good boy. Good job. Sit. Good. Yes. So same thing, getting through that whole process, rewarding him after the fact. Good boy. And then I do want him staying pretty calm as I'm taking it off of him. If he gets silly, just pause for a second before you continue. Good boy. Go get it. So I've been practicing that while sitting on the couch and also while standing. I do find he gets a little more amped up while I'm standing, doing it over him. So that would probably be the one that I'm practicing more, since that's the one he's struggling with more versus when I'm doing it while he's sitting on the couch. Good job, bud. Okay. We've been continuing to work on our sits and our downs this week. So I've been working on 2 things. The first one is we're working on sits and downs with me just verbally cueing him, meaning I'm not using a food lure, I'm not moving my hands around. I just want to see that he will go into position when I verbally cue him. And then maybe later on in the video, I'll pop the leash back on. We've been continuing to also practice sits and downs using leash pressure. He's pretty much to the point this week where I don't even have to verbally say it. I just have to apply the leash pressure up or down and he'll go into position. So let me toss a reset here. Okay. So no food in my hands, nice and neutral. Archer, He anticipates it. Come here. Archer, sit. Good boy. Okay, so I might give him a few pieces of food as a follow-up for maintaining position. And then I'm going to use that okay to let him out of position. So I will say when we're practicing our stationary positions, when we're doing sits and downs, I like to practice them separate, because if I always ask Archer to sit, then down in that order over and over and over again, what will end up happening is I ask Archer for a sit and he will default to a down, because he's going to anticipate that you're going to say that next if we keep doing that pattern. And he'll start offering you a down when you ask for a sit. So we're going to practice sits, I'll move on to something else, and then we'll come back and we'll do our downs. I'm going to toss another reset since he's already offering me the position. Go get it. Archer, sit. Good boy. Okay. Good job, buddy. We'll do one more. Archer, sit. Okay, so there he offered me a down. I'm going to get him back into the sit. I can do a couple things. I can either move away and get him to come over to me and try again. There we go. Good job, buddy. Okay. Good job. All right, so we're going to work on place next, and then we'll move on to our down position. So for place this week, I have been generalizing the behavior by practicing in different areas of the house. So I think we're going to set this up in the kitchen and we'll work there. Archer, place. Good boy. This week with our place skill, we're working on adding some distractions. So obviously we want Archer to be able to stay on place, not only for longer durations, which we've been working on, but also when there's distracting things going on. So something that I use place for pretty regularly is when I'm cooking a meal in the kitchen and I want my dog to not be underfoot, whether I'm using the stove, doing prep work on the kitchen island, whatever, I want them to be able to stay on place. So I like to start practicing this in the kitchen where maybe I'm opening the stove or the dishwasher, or I'm dropping stuff off the counters, and he's remaining on place that whole time. So I'm gonna reward him there for doing some duration. And then I'm just going to start to work on some distractions. So I might open up the oven door. As long as he stays in position after I do that, I'll mark and reward him. I can open up cabinets. I can knock something off of a counter. Good job, buddy. After I do maybe 2 or 3 distractions, I'll release him off of the mat. Okay. And then we'll run through that again. Archer, place. Good boy. If we have a dog that runs to the fridge every time we open it, we can practice it with opening the fridge. I do have a large piece of a treat over here that I'm going to knock off the counter. What a good boy. I can walk all the way around the island. So if he gets up, uh-oh, I'm going to bring him back over. Archer. I'm not going to reward him for the mistake, right? He made the mistake of getting off. But now I'm going to do an easy rep. So maybe I'll take a few steps away. I'll wait a few seconds. And then I'll come in and reward him. So the reason I'm not rewarding him immediately for helping him get back on the mat is because I don't want him to learn that he can get off the mat and every time he goes back on, we'll feed him even if we have had to help him get back on there. Because then he will learn, oh, all I have to do is hop off of it, get back on, and you're going to give me food every time. So if I have to fix the mistake and help him back on there, I will refrain from rewarding until I've done an easy repetition, and then I'll go back and reward him. Good job, bud. Okay. We'll do that one more time. Archer, place. So I do want to see if I can walk around the kitchen counter. We're going to try that again. Okay, and then I'm going to release him again. Okay, good job, buddy. We've been continuing to work on Archer's downs. Just like we were doing with his sits, I want to see that he will go into a down position with just a verbal cue, meaning I am not using a hand signal or using a food lure to get him into position. So he's already in a down. I am going to use his release cue to let him out of position. Okay. And then when he comes back, I'm going to cue him. Archer, down. Good boy. So I'm going to reward right on the floor between his paws. I like to reward on the floor for my downs because if the dog learns to expect that the food will happen on the floor, they will be more likely to stay in that down position versus if I'm feeding right from my hand. So I'm giving him a couple follow-up cookies just like I was doing for our sits. And then I'm going to use that release cue to let him out of position. Okay. Good job, bud. We're going to do that one again. Archer, down. Yes. Uh-oh. Good boy. Uh-oh. So if he pops back up, I'm bringing my hand out of my tree pouch. I do not have any food. I'm getting him to lay back down. And then I'm going to come back up before I mark and reward him again. Okay, we're going to do one more. Can you find it? There you go. Archer, down. Good boy. So I like to work on duration right off the bat because eventually we can develop this into a sit stay or a down stay behavior. So that's why I'm giving him these follow-up cookies for maintaining that duration before I release him. Okay. For me, I want a dog that stays in position until I release them versus a dog that goes into a sit, I give them the food, and then they get up and walk away as soon as they get that food. So again, I like to work on that duration right off the bat, and eventually that can be a sit stay or a down stay behavior. Good job, Archer. Go get it. Archer, here. Yes. Go get it. Archer, here. Go away. Yes. Go get it. Archer, here. Yes. Go get it. Archer, here. Yes. Good boy. Let's go. In week 3, I've been continuing to work with Archer on his sits and his downs using leash pressure. So this is the way that we can help him get back into position if he breaks out of position, and I'll kind of show you what that looks like in a minute here. But in week 3, our goal is that Archer understands if I put upwards pressure on the leash, I want him to sit. If I put downwards pressure on the leash, I want him to go into a down position. So we're actually going to try both of these without me verbally saying anything and just using leash pressure. So we're going to do our SIT first. Good boy. Okay, and same as before, I'm going to reward him a few times for maintaining that position. And I'm going to let him out of position using his release cue. Okay. And then we're going to do that one more time here. Okay. Good job, buddy. And then we're going to do the same thing with our down. So just as a reminder, if we're using leash pressure for a down, I need to hang on to the leash very close to him. Uh-oh. So if he pops back up, I'm just going to make him get back into the correct position before I reward. Okay. We're going to do that one again. Good boy. Okay. Good job, buddy. Okay, right from here, we're going to move into our door manner. So he's been doing really well with this. I've been practicing mainly at the front door, but this week we've been practicing at the door that leads into your garage, as well as the door that leads into your backyard. So for this, I'm going to use leash pressure to get him into that SIT before we continue on here. Archer, sit, wait. Good job, buddy. Okay, letting him out of position. We're going to run through that again. Archer, sit, good dog, wait. Okay, if he gets out of position, then this is where that leash pressure comes in to get him back into that sit position. Good boy. And then I'm going to use his release cue when I want to let him out of the threshold here. Archer, sit, good boy. Okay, good man. Good job, buddy. We'll do that one more time here. Archer, sit, good boy. Wait. Okay, good job, buddy. I just wanted to go over a toy play with Archer really quick. So I know we've been working on his drop a cue, playing the 2-ball game, but what I have noticed is that he doesn't seem interested in the toy unless I'm going for it, and then he starts to kind of nibble on my hands. So if that happens, I would end the game there because I don't want him to learn that he can chew on my hands and continue to play. So I'm going to toss this toy and bring it back. I'm going to try to get him to drop it. If at any point during this game he does start to get mouthy and chew at my hand or my arms, I will tell him enough, take the toy away, game ends. And then later on, if he wants to try to play again, okay, now I'll see, can you make better choices? Are you still going to bite at me? If you're going to bite at me, we're not going to play and I'm going to end the game. We just need to teach him that that's not acceptable. And if we continue playing after he's doing it, he's essentially being reinforced and rewarded for it. So let's see how he does with this. Ready, bud? Ooh, go get it. Good job, Archer. Bring it back. So I can certainly pick up this toy. I just want to see if he goes for the toy or for my hand. Good choice, buddy. Good man. If he wants to, we can play some tug. And then when I'm ready, when I'm ready for him to drop it is when I'll cue him. Archer, drop. Yes, go get it. You're supposed to bring it back, silly. Good boy. Good boy. Okay, so he's playing pretty nice right now. He's not trying to chew on me. He's sticking to the toy. Good boy. Get it. Good man. Good man. Oh my goodness. Oh. Archer, drop. Yes, go get it. Good boy. Look at you bringing that toy back. You tired? Good man. Okay, he's actually playing really nicely today. So now when I am going to end the game, I'm not going to tell him to drop it. I'm just going to end it on enough. So I want him to be in possession of it when I tell him enough. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Enough. Okay, then we're gonna end the game there. Nice job, buddy.